All right, check out our new sponsor, Greenwood Stocks. They want you to know how to be able to trade stocks and be your own boss and be free to travel the world by making passive income. We all need that passive income from stock market. What are you waiting for? Call or text 281-760-3170. If you didn't catch that, that's on your screen. Or check them out at social media, Greenwood Stocks, and catch them at Gmail, greenwoodstocktrading at Gmail, and the YouTube channel is Greenwood Stocks. Appreciate them for giving me the opportunity. Check them out. We out. All right, apparently, Laker fans, fake Laker fans, LeBron fans, read too much into the Brooklyn Nets and the Lakers game yesterday. And, they beat them without, the Lakers beat them without, AD and LeBron. And the Brooklyn Nets was full health. And, this, that, and the third, man. I'm just telling you, a lot of people don't know basketball. But let's talk about it. Hit that subscribe button, bell icon button, share the video, all right? And they beat them in Brooklyn, okay? Andre Drummond. They don't even know Andre Drummond, right? Know nothing, right? I'm on the wrong team. Give me a minute. Let's just look at, what they did without LeBron, right? And AD. They just lost to the Heat. They lost to the Clippers by almost 20. They beat the Kings. They got beat by the Bucks. They beat the Lonely Magic. They beat the Cavaliers. They lost to the 76ers. I think that was without Joel Embiid. They lost to the Pelicans, and And they lost to the Suns, right? They lost to the Hawks. So you look at the Lakers in the standings, right? They're fifth. They're one game in the loss column behind the 6th seed. Look, overall, they are 4 games in the loss column behind to be in the 8th spot. All right, and before we get into the game, which I didn't watch, I don't have to watch the game to know what happened. I've been watching the NBA for over 25 years, right? Even more than that. I'm just gonna say over 25. And what you got to understand is this. Regular season mean nothing. The regular season, especially when you kind of tapering down and you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. You got about roughly 18, 19 games left. It really don't matter. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these teams are already locked in. You look at the standings. Brooklyn is tied for the number 1 spot. They lost the tiebreaker behind Philadelphia 76ers, right? You look at the game last night. First thing that stands out is Drummond. 20 points, 11 rebounds, 22 minutes. Drummond does this routinely versus subpar teams or versus teams that don't have a big guy. And I told y'all, Aldridge is old, right? But what you got to understand about the dynamic when AD and LeBron get back is LeBron don't like to play with a guy who can't stretch out and shoot the ball. Ilgauskas, Chris Bosh, Kevin Love. He don't like a guy to take up the lane. So what the Lakers like to do is they like to spread people out, keep AD kind of mid-range, mid-elbow, 3-point corner shot, spread it out, let LeBron pick and roll with AD, pick and roll, or just drive to the lane. LeBron can't be effective with Andre Drummond taking up the lane. So that's one reason Drummond is not gonna be in the game with Anthony Davis. Another reason is when you play guys like Brooklyn, right? And KD was on minutes restriction from what I heard. He played 24 minutes yesterday, and plus it was a blowout. So he still, people saying he really injured. Like, no shit. This is his second game back, I believe, right? So let's say they throw AD and Andre Drummond out there, right? Brooklyn gonna throw Aldridge out there, and they're gonna throw KD. So are you really gonna put Kevin Durant? Are you really gonna put AD on Kevin Durant? No, because AD gonna get in foul trouble. All right? And then also, you got a situation where LaMarcus Aldridge is starting to step out between the 3-point line. So to be honest, Andre Drummond is a garbage player when it's time to win. When it's time to, when shit on the ground, he don't play well. I watched him in Detroit for I watched him in Detroit for years. And come up small versus Joel Embiid and come up small in big moments. Him and Anthony Davis are not going to play a lot of minutes together. They're not. So to be honest, he's going to really be big when Anthony Davis need a spell, need to rest it. So people reading too much. They probably didn't get up for these Lakers. So it's really going to be Montrezl Harrell and Anthony Davis is going to be really key, or Montrezl and Andre Drummond. But, Kyrie got ejected. Nobody want to talk about that, right? Let me see when Brooklyn last game was. And I'm not even a Brooklyn fan. Brooklyn last played on the 7th, so they had a couple days rest. But Kevin Durant not healthy. I think in the next 18, 19 games, if he remain healthy and get into a rhythm, they're going to be okay. James Harden didn't play. It really none of them guys really played. Kyrie didn't really play. Durant didn't really play. And people talking about Blake Griffin going to be a factor, 2 points and 2. I think Brooklyn going to have a tough time with a healthy Joel Embiid getting out the West, getting out the East. And I don't think the Lakers getting out the West, no way. I really don't. It's to the point where they too old, too fragile. They don't really have a rhythm. And they might cheat for the Lakers to get out the, but really, when you look at the situation with the Lakers, it's a lot of teams that match up well with them in the West now. You know, I think the Denver Nuggets, they started getting, they started the Clippers match up well with them. Other than the big fellas, but not really worried. The Suns match up well. The Jazz, I really don't think that. I mean, they probably gonna make Brooklyn and the Lakers make it, but in the Oregon, I don't think they're gonna make neither one of them gonna make it. I think Brooklyn got a better chance because they only got to go through one team, 76ers. But LeBron gonna be off for a few more weeks. I mean, I think LeBron, they say 3 more weeks, and AD maybe 10 more days. Shit, then you talk about a situation where think about this stretch they about to play. The Knicks who playing pretty good. The Hornets, okay, they get that win. The Celtics, they kind of shaky, but they playing for they desperate. They play the Jazz on the back-to-back in LA. Arguably, the next 5 games, they could legit lose 3 or 4 of those games. Then you play the Mavericks twice, they could lose those games. You play the Magic, Wizards, you should win that game. You play the Kings, you should win that. Play the Raptors, you should win that game. But then the Nuggets, the Clippers, the Trailblazers, the Sun, they all can lose that game. So really, we talking about 8 losses out of 13 games. 15, excuse me. Then you got the Knicks again, so 1, 2. So I really can end up with 20 more losses. 10 more losses. And you talking about 3 weeks till LeBron get back and AD, and plus they got to work their way back in too. For the playoffs. So you talking about 3 weeks? You talking about what? For AD, you talking about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So you talking about he won't come back to the 26th. LeBron, he won't come back until May. And the last game for them is May 16th. So he might get a few more games. So May 1st. So you need to play against the Raptors. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See, he had 7 games. Like I said before, man, they think AD and LeBron are so dominant. I'm gonna tell you what's gonna be the worst case scenario. If they put fans in arenas, they're gonna be in trouble. But I don't really read much into this. Brooklyn not at their best. LA not at their best. I just don't think LA gonna come out the West. Everybody talking about LeBron and AD, man. And they kind of, if it ain't no fans in the stands, I think they will come. They probably could come out. But it's a lot of good teams out West. And I say they lose 10 more games. Depends on when all them brothers come back. They can find themselves out the playoffs. They might rush them brothers back, man, or they find themselves in the playoff playing game. But like I said before, man, I think Utah should have made a move for another shot creator. They should have made a move. Somebody that can get buckets. But yeah, I don't read much into it, man. Andre Drummond show up against subpar competition. Andre Drummond ain't shit in the playoffs. He mentally weak. I'm trying to tell Laker fans that. Just because he had one good game versus Brooklyn. Come on, man. He does this shit routinely. He does it versus the weak. When you go against the Aidens and the Rudy Goberts and the Jokic of the world, the Porzingises of the world, the Nurkic's of the world, the Enes Kanters of the world, he's a mental midget. He's a B-I-T, you know what I'm saying? That's what he is. You know what I'm saying? He's soft like warm marshmallows. And nobody want to listen to me about him. You can't count on him. And plus, you ain't going to be able to play him and AD in crunch time at all. You want AD guarding the Carmelo Anthony's of the world and, guarding those type of guys of the world. But, people, Laker fans happy over that type of game don't understand basketball at all. The regular season ain't shit. When the playoffs come, that's what it counts. You win the regular season game in April. Who gives a hell? Yeah, we beat them. We beat the Brooklyn. So what? It's April. Kyrie got ejected and KD worked his way back. They yelling and shit like, nigga, when June comes, it's gonna be on. Well, AD didn't get into shape because of the injury, and LeBron, he 36 years old, you're 35, and that's what they gonna be saying, man. I hate these fans today. They was happy over a regular season win in Brooklyn. Crazy, right? But hey, let me know what you guys think. Don't forget me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can reach out if you have a business question, I'll respond to your video request. All that social media links, description. Fastest way to reach me is Twitter, then Facebook, then Instagram. Links in the description. Facebook will link there as well too. Want to make a financial donation? Cash App, CJ Good 313. That's the description. PayPal link there as well too. Best way to donate. Share the video. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Check it in.